Reports are stating that Tottenham Hotspur and England striker Harry Kane is prepared to sign a new deal at Spurs if the Bayern Munich deal collapses. The Supporters Trust have come out and said that the ticket prices at Spurs are too high. Enough is enough, and they have sent a message to Spurs stating, stop exploiting loyalty. Reports are stating that Spurs are set to bid for Fulham defender Tosin Adarabioyo, and coach Chris Powell has left the club.
Chris Cowlin. Fan cams, club news, transfer news, the Spurs Chat podcast, match previews, legend interviews, Spurs women, press conferences, covering everything Tottenham and England.
Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News, where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. So let's start with a report from the Evening Standard. They have just stated that Chris Powell leaves role at Tottenham before new season. Tottenham's head of academy coaching departs after 3 years with his boyhood club. It then goes on to say that the Evening Standard understands that former England defender and Charlton boss Chris Powell has opted to leave Spurs after 3 years in North London. The 53-year-old was first recruited by Tottenham, then managed by Jose Mourinho back in the summer of 2020 as a youth coach as part of a restructure of their academy following the departure of John McDermott to the FA. Boyhood Spurs fan Chris Powell later joined interim assistant head coach as he continued to work closely with two-time caretaker manager Ryan Mason before reverting back to his senior role as head of coaching for the club's youth teams from the under-17s to under-21 level. Chris Powell had remained in that post under Antonio Conte and most recently Ange Postecoglou, who was appointed as Tottenham's new permanent head coach in June after Conte's reign was followed by the temporary stints under Christian Stellini and Ryan Mason, who also did the job briefly after the exit of Jose Mourinho in 2021. However, Chris Powell has now decided to stand down from that job ahead of the 2023-2024 season. Football.London have just reported that Tottenham finally expected to launch defender bid as clubs step up transfers for boss Ange Postecoglou. Tottenham have yet to add to their centre-back options so far this summer, despite it topping the club's list of transfer priorities ahead of the new Premier League season. The report states that Tottenham are expected to launch a bid for Fulham defender Tosin Adarabioyo this week. Now only 12 days away from their 2023-2024 Premier League opener against Brentford, the Lily Whites have yet to strengthen at the back for Ange Postecoglou despite their defensive woes from last campaign continuing during pre-season. Very much the priority for the club in the summer transfer market. Many fans have questioned why Daniel Levy and the club have failed to add to their centre-back choices, having shipped 63 goals in the Premier League last term. A number of players have been linked with a move to Tottenham Hotspur so far this summer, though including Bundesliga duo Edmund Tabsoba and Mickey van der Ven, as well as Fulham ace Adarabioyo. Now, the Daily Mail have just reported that Harry Kane is prepared to sign a new deal at Tottenham Hotspur if his Bayern Munich deal collapses, so long as Ange Postecoglou's side show significant improvement this season. The report states that the 30-year-old has made it clear that he plans to stay at Tottenham Hotspur if he lines up at Brentford in their Premier League opener on the 13th of August, believing it would be unfair on the club and new head coach Ange Postecoglou to leave after the start of the campaign. And if he does stay put this summer, then Harry Kane would consider opening talks on a new deal if they show significant progress on the pitch under Postecoglou. Also in this report, it says that Spurs are refusing to set a deadline on talks with Bayern Munich over Harry Kane, with the transfer window open until 11 p.m. on the 1st of September. Bayern Munich boss Thomas Tuchel kept tight-lipped when quizzed over his side's ongoing pursuit of Harry Kane on Tuesday. Bayern Munich have been locked in a transfer saga with Spurs throughout this summer, with Harry Kane's contract up next season and the German champions keen to reinforce their front line. However, despite Bayern's best efforts, they have been unable to spark a deal with Daniel Levy, who is holding out for close to £100 million for his most valuable asset. The Daily Mail have stated that they understand that Bayern Munich are now preparing a third bid that eclipses the £68 million they paid for Lucas Hernandez in 2019 in a club record £85 million move for Harry Kane. Despite the story being perhaps the biggest of the summer, Thomas Tuchel refused to be drawn on whether there was likely to be a deal for the player. When asked about the Kane situation, he simply offered no comment. Also in this report, it says that Harry Kane is open to a move to Germany, and while Daniel Levy wants at least £100 million for his star man, it is believed an offer in the region of £90 million would tempt him. Now for some Tottenham Hotspur women news. Now the opponents for our 2023-2024 FA Women's Continental Tyres League Cup group stage has been confirmed. We will face Bristol City, Southampton and Reading in Group D. The dates for the competition are as follows: the 11th or 12th of October, the 22nd or 23rd of November and the 24th or 25th of January. On Tuesday, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club put out the following statement. The club can announce its matchday plans for Sunday's home pre-season friendly against Shakhtar Donetsk at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium at 2 p.m. kickoff, a match dedicated to the people of Ukraine. The club have stated match tickets distributed to displaced Ukrainian families across North London, with children leading the teams out as mascots. The country's national anthem will be performed ahead of kickoff, accompanied by a visual tribute to the work being done to support those affected by the ongoing conflict. Now, on Tuesday, the official Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust put out the following statement. Call to action: stand with us in the fight against matchday ticket increases. As we are all aware, Tottenham Hotspur has increased the price of matchday tickets for the coming season. In this statement, it states that the ticket prices at the club are already amongst the most expensive in the Premier League and Europe. To make matters worse, full details were hidden in a general statement released by the club, indicating it is fully aware the decision cannot be justified. The move was made without any consultation with supporters or fan groups and was immediately opposed by the Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Trust and then every elected member of the new fan advisory board at its first meeting in July. If these rises are not opposed, we believe there will be more to come. A corresponding increase in season ticket prices would mean rises of between 9 and 13% for the 2023-2024 campaign, and there is no guarantee that matchday ticket prices will not increase further. This is clearly unacceptable, so any price increases must be resisted. Supporters should be at the heart of every decision the club makes. Instead, our loyalty is being exploited. Ticket price increases are not an economic necessity for the 9th richest club in world football. They are a choice that the club's board has chosen to make against the backdrop of cost of living crisis, with prices already sky high. We therefore call on all Spurs fans to join us, telling the club enough is enough. Now, if you want to know more about this, do visit the website, the official Tottenham Hotspur Supporters Club. It then talks about the key facts, gives a number of bullet points, what we want, what we need to do, and then first call to action. It then finishes with the line, let's stand together, hold the club to account, and let them know that they can no longer take us for granted. It then finishes with two hashtags, stop ticket price rises and stop exploiting loyalty. Now, my thoughts on all of these stories in today's episode. I'll tell you what, let me firstly just say apologies for not doing these longer videos. Of course, I have been in Australia, Thailand and Singapore. And since I've come back, I felt very tired. Of course, the 7-hour difference, UK time, has hit me a little bit. And I'll be completely honest, with no centre-backs coming in, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it at the moment, and I'm very, very disappointed as a Spurs fan, I must say. We know what problems we have at the club. We know what problems we had last season. Those problems are still there. Of course, the manager has changed, or the head coach has changed. We've brought in a couple of new additions, James Maddison, Vicario, and of course Manor Solomon. We've only had one player leave, Harry Winks. We don't know whether Harry Kane is staying at the football club at the moment. And I cannot believe that we are, 11, 12 days away from our first Premier League game against Brentford away, and we have no defensive reinforcements. No one can tell me that Ange Postecoglou is happy with that. I tell you what, the Spurs fan base are frustrated, angry, again. And sadly, I think that the Shakhtar Donetsk game, where it's all meant to be about Shakhtar Donetsk, it's all meant to be about Ukraine. And sadly, I think it's going to probably be overshadowed by Tottenham Hotspur not doing enough in this transfer window. Of course, I am not judging the window as yet, because, of course, the window closes on the 1st of September. Of course, there is still time for Tottenham Hotspur to sign centre-backs. But we all know, as Tottenham fans, you want to be going in to the new season, the start of the new season, that opening game of the new season. You want to have the best possible team. And at the moment, we have still got exactly the same defence as last season. It is truly, truly disappointing. I thought that Spurs started off very well in this transfer window. The mood was extremely high when James Maddison was announced as a new Tottenham Hotspur signing. I think a lot of people thought that this transfer window is going to be different. Going forward, we're going to show real ambition in this transfer window. And as I said, I'm not judging the window yet, but going into the new season, I had hoped that new centre-backs would be at the football club, and we would be shaping this squad. Ange Postecoglou would be shaping this squad for us to do something decent next season. At the moment, when I look at all of the business that all the other teams around us are doing or have done so far, particularly the teams above us, they have really strengthened. We finished 8th in the Premier League table last season. And of course, the Harry Kane situation, who knows whether Harry Kane is going to go or not. I think it's very, very fair to say it is all now down to Bayern Munich. I think if Bayern Munich put in a bid for Harry Kane that Daniel Levy will accept, then Harry Kane will go. I think it's all down to that, how much Bayern Munich do actually want to spend on Harry Kane. What are Spurs doing? What are we doing in this transfer window? What ambition do we have in this transfer window? That is my question at the moment. There are a lot of frustrated people at the moment, and I know a lot of people say that I am, one of the positive ones. I'm not feeling positive right now. I think if Spurs went out and signed one or two centre backs, I think I'd feel a little bit better. But then again, it's about the quality of the centre backs. We should be showing real ambition. We should be going out and signing the very best. As I've said on these episodes many, many times, there is no point the scouts doing their job. There's no point having all of these employees scouting all of these fantastic players for the board and the likes of Daniel Levy then to decide that he doesn't want to pay top dollar for top players. If we're not going to do that and we're then going to settle for second best, third best, fourth best and so on, it's not good enough. We're not going to be anywhere near a European spot for the following season. And I love European football. I love Spurs playing the Champions League. And, for you, for the regulars who listen to this and watch this on a regular basis, you would know that I wanted a Europa League spot or indeed a Europa Conference League spot. But I don't even think that we're anywhere near that at the moment. I know that we are good going forward. You can see that during pre-season. We can score goals. We can create chances. I think in the 2 games that we've played in pre-season so far, I think we created about 70 chances or 70 shots, 70 shots in those 2 games. So we know that we can create chances going forward, but defensively, we know that we are very poor. Shipping 63 Premier League goals last season, and at the moment, as things stand, Romero, who is Romero playing alongside? Probably Ben Davies, if I was to guess. But, a suspension, an injury, whatever, Eric Dyer's back in. Davinson Sanchez is back in. And that is not where we want to be going. And that is not going forward as a football club, and that is not giving Ange Postecoglou the tools and the chance to take this club forward. So I'm really hoping that Spurs just pull something out of the bag and quick, because there's a lot of work to do. And, you know, Harry Winks is the only player that has gone out the door so far this summer. You know, many fans and many pundits and many journalists are talking about, you know, Spurs selling or offloading 10 players this window. What chance have we got of that? You know, Davinson Sanchez, you know, players like this, they should have gone out the door as soon as the season ended, in my opinion. You know, just get some of these deals over the line. Everything seems to be very slow. I know it had been said by a journalist or two that Scott Munn was seen in Australia. I certainly didn't see him, and I didn't see him in Thailand or Singapore. And I was actually looking out for these types of people as well, you know, because it's very interesting to see who is actually there. Has he started work yet? I don't believe he has at the football club. We don't have a director of football in as yet. And from what I understand, Spurs are still looking for one. And, you know, there is 1 month left of the transfer window. What business are Spurs going to do in this window? Ange Postecoglou has said that we will bring at least one centre-back in. If it is only one centre-back, that is not enough in my opinion, even if it is a top-quality one, which at the moment it doesn't look like it is going to be, because the Tapsoba deal doesn't look like it's going to be done. Fabrizio Romano has stated it is going to be very, very difficult. If Spurs sell Harry Kane and we get the Harry Kane money in, then Spurs could afford and could possibly do the Tapsoba deal. Mickey van der Ven, that was apparently very close, and now the clubs have stopped talking. We're now looking at Tosin Adarabioyo from Fulham. Is he good enough? I'm not so sure. You know, it has been said, you know, hundreds and thousands of times about Spurs going back in for Clement Longley. I don't think that is the direction that Spurs should be going in either. So this is going to be a very, very interesting month. But as I say, I am very disappointed, you know, going into this Brentford game Sunday week with the same defence and pretty much the same squad. I think Maddison will be a starter for Tottenham in that game. Manor Solomon will probably be a sub. Vicario, I think that a number of Spurs fans, you know, certainly a number that I speak to on a regular basis, I think a lot of people are disappointed by the Vicario signing. I think he's a great shot stopper. I would like to see more of him moving the ball quickly with his feet and playing out from the back and being that sweeper keeper that we had hoped for and you know, thinking what we've signed. But David Raya, it now looks like David Raya is on the move. You know, could be on the move to our North London rivals Arsenal, which I think is going to frustrate a lot of people again, because David Raya would have certainly been my choice. And, you know, talking to a number of Spurs fans, I think that they would have really liked David Raya to be our number one. Premier League experience, you know exactly what you're going to get with him. Whereas Vicario, I think, will probably be a bit of you know, work in progress. I think he's a good goalkeeper, as I said, but I think he's going to be work in progress in the Premier League. Now, the Supporters Trust, I think they're going to be protesting before the Manchester United game about the ticket prices, and rightly so. I think that they do a great job. They're very... well, they do a great job, and I think that a lot of people give them a lot of stick sometimes for perhaps not doing enough. There is only so much they can do. They're certainly standing up for the supporters this time. Enough is enough, and you know, they're stating that the club should stop exploiting loyalty, which I completely agree with. The prices should not have gone up. I've said on this channel many times, you know, a number of premium members, box holders and so on, their tickets went up significantly for the new season, and their tickets include European football. And of course there is no European football, and their price still went up, and they have had games taken away from them. So I do not agree with any price increases whatsoever, whether you're going to one game or whether you're a season ticket holder, whether you're buying a general admission season ticket or whether you're in a box, wherever you are in the stadium. Those prices should not have gone up for the new season. Very, very disappointed to hear that Chris Powell has left the football club. Of course, Dean Raztrick left last month. Chris Powell has now left. It does worry me a lot that a number of good coaches, really decent coaches, have left the football club, particularly when last season we won the cups under 17 and under 18 level, and a lot of these people seem to be leaving the football club, which really does worry me because they're really good coaches. They're really good people to be around a lot of the younger players. I think there is a lot to do at this football club. There are a lot of improvements to make, and probably the worry in my voice and the worried feel at the moment is that the Premier League is just round the corner. We should be prepared, and I just feel that Spurs are so unprepared for this coming campaign. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, come on you Spurs.